Hey everyone, Pat Mesiti here, and I'm I cannot believe what is happening to the nation of Australia. I cannot believe what the federal government has just done. And I come with a heavy heart, but I'm also coming with an aggravated spirit. And I need you to hear me because I've got a lot to say today. You know, I was really annoyed when Scott Morrison went out and made climate change and health decisions based on reading a book by Bill Gates. But what the federal government has done right now, that is the Albanese government, is nothing short of ludicrous. They've just appointed Bill Gates's girl, Jane Holton. Look her up. Look up Jane Holton. See, this lady was the president of the WHO. This lady was the chairman of Gates's 2001 pandemic simulation. This lady was also the big player in Bill and Melinda Gates's foundation, which we all know was originally called the Foundation for Population Control. The list goes on about this woman. And here's what the federal government said, and it makes my blood boil, that she is respected on both sides of the parliament. There's a reason why she's respected, because she's controlled. Now, they've just appointed this woman to review over our nation the the COVID pandemic, a review of that and its vaccines. Now, I know I can get banned for using that word vaccines, but I'm allowed to use a damn word. She will be the one overseeing what has happened to our nation and what will happen to our nation. A woman who Gates has got his fingerprints all over this country, and Morrison is still to blame, and Albanese is following suit. All of a sudden, Albanese wants to be the Mother Teresa of the world. And by the way, listen to me very carefully. Big shout out to my great friend James McPherson and Alexander Marshall for being on a program the other night with Rowan Dean. And you need to follow James. You need to follow James and Alexandra, how he wants to help the world and feed the world. But what they don't realise is in our nation, Australia, most of our farming, etc., is we need the coal to do that. And yet now what we've got is someone with a hidden agenda connected to the WEF. Have a look at her. Look it up online. I'm not doing all the research for you. Come on, folks. Jane Holton, look her up online. The WEF is all over this. The WHO is all over this. And we all know their track record. And they're given a free rein on your money, your taxpayers' money. I got to tell you, I called out Morrison for what I saw. And someone said to me, oh, now look where it up with Albanese. Yeah, but at least I know the devil that's in front of me. Whereas Morrison was two-faced. But this lady, watch this, plays both sides of the fence. Let me tell you what my Bible says. Let me tell you what my Bible says. You're either for me or against me. A double-minded person, unstable in all their ways. Just remember that Goliath, the word Goliath of Gath, the word Goliath of Gath, or the champion as a people, was the one that actually was there negotiating stuff. And Bill Gates's fingerprints are all over this country still to this day. And the health minister that Albanese has appointed gets up and brags about her, how she's respected. Not on my watch, sunshine, she's not. Now, I've got nothing against Jane personally. But you can't tell me that there is no agenda behind all this. Now, all of a sudden, the federal government, if Facebook and Instagram and everyone else, you get mad at me and ban me, you ought to go ban the news as well. Channel 9 goes out there and says that now the federal government is handing out money going to pay people that have had serious injuries because of they went and did what the government asked them to do. We said this was happening for 2 years. Now you lying, deceitful people, especially in the mainstream media, you're admitting now that there is serious injuries. Now, serious injuries is relative to the person that had it. Now they're admitting that this stuff's happening. And by the way, let me tell you another thing that's just come out. Babies born during the pandemic, they have discovered that children are born with less immunity to the COVID and to the flu than at any other time in history. I wonder why. I wonder why. And all my preachers out there, you're still annoying the living daylights out of me. Everything we said has come to pass. And you still stand behind your pulpits and you still don't call out this nonsense and evil that happened to our nation. And you will stand before Almighty God, I'm telling you right now, for the silence that you allowed in your pulpits for the injustices and the injustices caused on people. Yeah, I am fired up. Because everything we were criticising, you're out there, my great friends, the great freedom fighters, I salute you and I applaud you. And my heart goes out. Because many of the things we said are now being fulfilled. But people called us names, conspiracy theorists, believers in this cabal thing. Well, there's your facts. Babies are now born with less immunity. I wonder why. And interestingly, how many people now, healthy, fit people, young people, getting SADS, sudden adult death syndrome, heart attacks. And now what we've got is a woman who is a man paid by Gates, paid by who, in charge of all this. God help us all. And of course, Dan Andrews now has called a code red as far as the health situation in Victoria, but he says he's not responsible. Well, what kind of a leader are you? Now, I had no intention of coming on here today and talking about it until I got a whole bunch of stuff sent to me. Now, of course, the good guys are stopping their facial recognition. I'm going to tell you something right now. I am never shopping at good guys anymore. You're not the good guys, you're the bad guys. We need to start making a stand, folks. We seriously do. And today I'm also fired up about another thing. For the last 2 years, and please, I know many of you, you're great supporters, and I love you and I appreciate you. You support our work at Reborn, you support our work in ministry. Some of you fools out there, because I promote some of my wealth creation events, let me just say something right now. I stuck my hand in my pocket for the last 2 years. I've paid for legal fees for some of our freedom fighters, and some of the people out there, you trolling idiots, you idealistic fools. You've never stuck your hand in a pocket for one damn thing. Never. Yeah, I've paid for legal fees for many of the freedom fighters, and yet you've got the guts to criticise me because I put on wealth creation events. I ran a business before I ever opened up my mouth, and I put my business at risk for some of you people. If you don't like what I say, if you don't like my stand on abortion, nick off, go somewhere else. I don't need you. I don't care. Abortion is murder, period, done. I'm not going to sit here and be woke on it. Number two, I'm not falling down and worshipping nature. All this nonsense on climate change is nothing but an old religion rehashed, and now we've got a patron saint called Greta. I'm not changing. And number three, I will continue to promote my events here. You know why? It pays for some of your freedoms. And if you don't like me getting annoyed, tough luck. If you don't like my passion, I don't care. You all think I'm losing it? This is who I am. You don't have to take my pulse to know where I stand and what I feel. I have fought for 2 or 3 years, put my business, my ministry, and everything else at stake. And one idiot out there says, oh, what reputation you had, Pat. You lost me when you started promoting crypto. Let me tell you what I'm going to do from now on. Any one of you that dares do stuff like that, any of you trolls or nincompoops, I'm going to name you. You got no problem me calling out ScoMo and Albanese. Well, I'm going to call you out for your stupidity. I've had a gutful. If you don't like what I say, go somewhere else. If you don't like what I preach, go somewhere else. If you don't like the fact that for the last 20 years, I've been committed to teaching economic and biblical prosperity to people, you know what? Go somewhere else. And I mean it, because I'm not changing. I will fight. Now, I want to thank everyone. I know maybe some of my mentors out there might get a little bit annoyed with me today for saying what I'm going to say. You don't like what I say? Nick off. And I will name you. If you don't like being on my database, email my office, get off it. Because I'm going to tell you something. For every one of you that gets up there and wants to make a negative comment, I've got 200 and 300 that have got so much good stuff. And I love and appreciate you all. And I am a little emotional today. Because when you're out there fighting in the trenches, you're putting yourself, your family at risk. I'm the guy that had to put security cameras around his house because of what was done and said and the vilification I got. And I'm not trying to justify. I just want you to know that freedom doesn't come cheap. The rallies, thank you for all of you that supported them. But I stuck my hand in my pocket. And I still do. The thousands of Bibles we've given away. The charities we support. And I'm not saying this to big note myself. I just want you all to know that freedom is expensive. And some of these idiots out there that text my office and my team, I will name you from now on. If you don't like what I say, you don't like what I market, go. I don't need you. Because if I need you, I can't lead you. We've got a war here. And the problem with the freedom movement, why we should have won that election and we didn't, is because we had idiots out there that some of you followed, them dressing up in their army outfit, an idiot who caused more problem than anything else, and all because he was crazy and all that, people started following him. But where are they now? Where are they now? I tell you what, I'm still grateful for the George Christensens. I'm still grateful for the Monica Smiths. By the way, we need to support Monica. I'm still grateful for so many others out there, for Pauline and so many others out there. And I'm so grateful for so many pastors that are out there standing still for freedoms. And now we've got to fight again. Bill Gates' fingers are all over this country. Our Prime Minister, Albanese, is too busy flying around trying to be the globalist that he is, just like ScoMo, to win points with all the WHO and WEF, let alone looking after our own country. Who would have thought that lettuce would be a luxury in this country? Anyway, a couple of things I want to announce. I'm sorry if I got a bit fired up. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. We need to start calling out this Jane Helton stuff and what the agenda is. We've got to do that. We want to know why our babies are being born with less immunity than ever before. And listen to this, and babies are put in ICU. Why? Why now? Why now? Victoria, Dan Andrews fires 250 teachers. Now they're reinstated. And some people out there have got a stupid idea that they're all upset because the non-jabbed are getting their jobs back. Well, if you want the country to go broke, keep beating up on the people that can get it back on track. You are the ones that wanted to get, some of you out there, you wanted to go get done. That's your problem. Many of us decided not to. We chose bodily autonomy over tyranny. And we will still do that. And we will continue to do that. Tomorrow, I'm hosting a very special encore. And if you don't like what I'm saying, switch off now, go away. I care for your finances. I really do. And I know something about it. I've been studying biblical economics and everything and wealth creation for the last 30 years. Tomorrow, my great friend, a great Christian man, a guy who was a local youth leader up there in Maryborough, Jonathan Job, an outstanding young man. This guy's story was that he lived in his parents' caravan. He has 2 autistic children, but developed some skills and abilities to help people increase. And he's a good Christian guy with great integrity. Tomorrow morning, he's hosting a 90-minute session. Whether cryptos are going up or down, I know Jonathan can help you develop cash flow. No, we're not going to get you filthy millionaire rich. I don't teach get rich quick stuff. An email went out with the word rich in it. I don't teach get rich quick. That's not me. People say, how do you get rich quick? Slowly. It's about prospering and it's about increasing. Yes, he will be promoting his mentorship, but you can learn. You can learn. This week we had 2 experts. I decided to do an encore with Jonathan just for 90 minutes. And he'll be on tomorrow. There is a link here at the beginning of my rant, and I'll also put it in the chat. But Sunday morning, I've invited one of the world's greatest speakers and orators to be on our Reborn channel, Rick Godman. This guy is one of the greatest speakers you will ever hear. He'll be on our Reborn. He'll be on our Telegram. He'll be on our Instagram. You don't want to miss this message. And he's got a very special message that you're going to find incredibly inspirational. Plus, he's got some insights on how we first met. It's going to be a great message on Sunday morning. But tomorrow, Saturday morning, why don't you join us? Just come and learn, guys. It doesn't hurt us to get some education. You know what I mean? We've got to be educated. I know we're educated on what's been going on for the last years, but we've got to take control of our future because we don't want to fall into the hands of the WEF who want to establish a basic wage for everybody all over the world. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We want to be free in all areas, free over our bodies, free in our economies, and free and becoming self-sufficient. And that's my heart. If you don't like that, you don't have to listen to me. Listen to all that stuff, but don't go making silly comments and harassing my team and judging me on the basis of your intentions. Now, that's not the good people that follow me, by the way. That's a few trolls and a few ning-nongs out there. And by the way, here's what I'd like you to do. If you see any of these ning-nongs post stuff, you deal with them. But just remember, I'm not changing. I'm not changing. I'm not changing what I believe the good book says. I'm not changing my values. I will be speaking about the attack on our children. From the womb to the tomb, I will fight for life and I will fight for freedom. And I'll tell you what, and I'll stand behind this book. I am not going to be a woke teacher and speaker. You want woke? Go somewhere else. You want someone that's wishy-washy? Go somewhere else. And yes, I know my passion sometimes is irritating and can be annoying. But that's how God made me. And that's how I'm always going to be. God made me a fighter. When I saw who the federal government appointed, Jane Halton, Gates' fingerprints are all over this country again. Anyway, why don't you join me tomorrow? It's going to be an awesome event. 90 minutes. It's going to change your life. Register for it. I know it'll bless you. Sunday morning, join us with my very special VIP guest, Rick Godman. I know it'll bless you. Thank you so much for listening.